Defund the police? Really? September 3, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. At the rate things are going, there won't be any police left to defund. Many veteran police officers are simply fed up and leaving their jobs. Let's face it, being a police officer isn't exactly easy or safe. And when certain elements in the populace turn hostile to the extent exposed by the recent riots, and the rest of the people say and do nothing in support, what do you expect to happen? I've had policemen all over this country tell me flat out, "Grandma, the only reason I am still here, is because I know that if I leave, I am just making it harder and more dangerous for the guys that stay." The even worse part of it, is that police, as opposed to our peacekeepers, are actually acting in a totally private capacity, because they are working for private, for-profit, state-of-state, and municipal and city and federal and agency corporations. Sure, they have badges and uniforms, but in terms of their legal capacity, they are working as private security forces for foreign, for-profit corporations under Pinkerton laws. The law enforcement officer (LEO) sheriffs working for incorporated counties have no actual public office, and as the U.S. Supreme Court case, Mack and Prince v. USA, Inc. put it, it's up to their discretion whether or not they defend and support the constitutions, and your constitutional rights, at all. You're paying for their services, but they aren't obligated to serve you. In fact, serving you is the last thing on their corporate bosses' minds. So if these brave men and women use their discretion to defend you, they often face demotions and flack from the corporate higher-ups and from some of their cohorts, too. "I thought I was being smart," one police sergeant told me. "I thought, go along to get along. Keep the pension. Wife and kids depending on me." When he finally used his discretion, and refused to enforce foreign codes and statutes against Americans, refused to evict people from their homes based on fraudulent commercial claims, he was fired, not eligible for rehire. I am not gilding any lilies, folks. Except for private corporate risk management insurance, the law enforcement officers have no bonds, no insurance. They are totally, 100%, personally and commercially liable, and when push comes to shove, that is, when they are given bad orders by the corporate bosses, guess whose butt is really on the line? Theirs. No wonder thousands of them are waking up and shuffling on down the road. Beats being dead, beats being spit on to defend the bastards in charge, as one detective lieutenant told me, just minutes before he chucked his badge. To get a taste of what these men and women face in real life, and why so many of them are walking, watch Clint Eastwood's film, Richard Jewell. What happens when there are no police left? Then it's up to us to defend ourselves and our families and our communities and our states of the Union. It's up to us to take up and exercise our lawful offices and jurisdictions to do it, just like the old days. The peacekeepers have arrived. And I can tell you that there are a great many law enforcement officers who are very glad to see us. Our peacekeeping forces occupy the land and soil jurisdiction of this country and work directly for the United States of America, the unincorporated Federation of States, the states, and the people. We occupy our lawful state and federal offices. We accept our public duty. We carry public bonds. We carry public guns. And yes, those are real stars you are seeing. The Continental Marshals are replacing the old Federal Marshals Service that was defunded and working our international jurisdiction on the land, addressing interstate crimes. The state assembly militias are the well-regulated militias we are guaranteed. And our state assembly sheriffs are still the supreme elected peacekeeping officials standing on the soil jurisdiction of our unincorporated counties. If some ignorant wet behind the ears corporate attorney tries to tell you anything different, you have the public duty to give them a free public education.